All right, everybody, Hafade, and welcome back to KU News Extra. Now, our friends down at the Hagatna Public Library will be celebrating what would have been the 111th birthday of a beloved author, Dr. Seuss, of course. And joining me now from the Guam Public Library System is Frank Afterly. Frank, Hafade.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Okay, so for people who don't know, now, I grew up on Dr. Seuss. You know, the books, the morals he expressed through his writing, and the general way he wrote, and you know, some people would say like it's a nincompoop way because the
quirky,
words
wacky.
Yeah, but that was his charm and that was his style and everything like that. So who was Dr. Seuss?
Actually, his real name is Theodore Seuss Geisel, and better known as Dr. Seuss. And he wrote like a lot of children's books that were very entertaining, out of this world. And it's like children really loved to read it because it was it took them to faraway places that wouldn't normally another book would take them to. And I guess his characters, his quotes, his rhymes, it really sparked interest in children's literature.
And through the illustrations, like were very, very colorful, obviously very cartoony. I mean, it was all like they were eventually made into animated films. But the subject matter that Dr. Seuss always wrote about and spoke about, it went from being things that hold up today, like in the Lorax he talks about environmentalism. Horton Hears a Who was basically like responsibility and never breaking your promises and everything. But he also wrote about a lot of very serious issues too.
Yeah, there's I guess like what we were talking about earlier, like controversial issues, but like you were saying, is like they couldn't really figure out because of the way he was writing his books. So, but even like adults, they enjoy reading the stories to their children because they grew up on it as well, and it makes children want to read more, as to sparking their imagination and letting it take them to faraway places as well.
Yeah. Now it sounds like a bunch of gibberish when when someone's like reading it, because the rhyme pattern is
tongue twisters and
yeah. But once you actually start getting into it, it's like, wow, this is a really deep story. So so how are you guys celebrating Dr. Seuss's life down at the library?
Well, we've been celebrating for the past decade, but it all started out with the National Education Association that I guess they wanted to try and find a way to celebrate children's literature. Like when you're at schools, you have pep rallies to celebrate football, and this is one way they get to celebrate, children's literature and, the celebration of reading, to children. And well, the public library, we've been doing it for the past, decade, and it's a way of us, inviting parents, children to come enjoy the festivities, and even, I guess, go through a reading session at the library.
And who reads to the children?
Well, this year I have some students from the Adult Educators for Young Children's Association. They're going to be coming down doing the arts and craft activities, helping us out this year again. And usually they will come up with a puppet story or a play, or some other kind of interaction with the children.
Now, I'm sure because Dr. Seuss was relevant to so many people, like as luck would have it, I was on YouTube the other day watching the original film, The Lorax, not the remake, the one that came out, and that was like in 1953, I think, when that came out. So obviously, his influence spans generations. Do you expect to get like some older people that just want to go there just because they were so influenced and touched by Dr. Seuss?
Well, we always have a good turnout every year. Like last year, we had a little over 300 people that did show up, parents and children, and because of the publicity that we're getting now, we're expecting a little bit more. Just to come down and celebrate, Dr. Seuss, with the activities. All the activities would be geared towards Dr. Seuss, like theme books. And, we also do like a Cat in the Hat parade, because Cat in the Hat will, eventually show up. Kids get to do a little parade with them, and then, there's some like refreshments for the children afterwards.
Oh, that's wonderful. Now are people young and old, are they encouraged to dress up?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Because those hats, those Cat in the Hat ones, they're unmistakable.
I mean, everybody gets, we have fun when you get to dress up. And like last year I had a couple of parents that came in as Thing 1 and Thing 2. And, that was very entertaining for the kids as well, because, it's like, it's not just the children doing it, it's, also the adults that are getting involved.
Can people bring in food? And you can probably sense where I'm going with this. Can they actually bring in green eggs and ham?
Actually, we are going to be serving green eggs and ham.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so, the children get to look forward to that as well, towards the end. After the parade.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So how can people, do they have to register? Can they do so online, or can they just show up?
No, they just show up, because all of our programs at the library are free to, to the public. and just show up and join the festivities for that day.
If we have some parents who maybe want to bring their own copy of their favorite Dr. Seuss story and they would like to read, can they volunteer to do so?
Yeah, depending upon the time, because we're kind of like going on a time frame, especially with the students from UOG. Maybe like after the refreshments, if there's still children that are hanging around the library, they want to do another reading session. Parents are more than welcome to read their story.
All right, Frank. Well, the mission that you're trying to pass on to kids is like have an appreciation for literacy.
Yes.
That is going to stand the test of time. So thank you, NC Mossy, for what you're doing.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right. Stay tuned, everybody. We are back